Hello, fellow Star Wars fans, it's Starrapter here, as always, here to talk about the Star Wars comics that came out this week for the week of December 29th, 2021, last week of comics in 2021. How is that possible? Here we are. So we're talking about a comic from IDW and a comic from Marvel. Starting off, as always, with Marvel, we have Bounty Hunters issue number 19. Now, this is a really cool cover. I love that Stormtrooper cross with the TIE Fighter pilot. Really cool, iconic kind of illustration right there. It's called The Flight of the Dark Squadron, and this is a great issue revolving around Beilert Valance as well as the characters of Losho and the other ones involved with that other bounty hunter gang. But we're going to start off talking about what is happening with Beilert Valance. So we know he is now kind of entrusted by Vader, not entrusted, but kind of forced against his will is the better kind of term, to lead Dark Squadron to basically weed out Crimson Dawn. So the first mission of Beilert Valance is to go and take a TIE Defender squad to take out this commander that is supposedly part of Crimson Dawn. One of the pilots that's part of his crew is Gila, who is from the Alphabet Squadron novels, as well as the TIE Fighter miniseries that came out a while ago. So that's a really cool connective tissue. But the main thing is, they are flying freaking TIE Defenders. These ships that, you know, according even in this issue, hey, these weren't decommissioned a while ago, right? Because remember, in Star Wars Rebels, they were trying to get off the ground. Thrawn was with getting these things versus the Death Star. Ultimately, we know that the Death Star went into production and the TIE Defenders kind of just sat there. So there are some TIE Defenders out there, but by the end of this issue, not many left apparently. So they have this idea about taking out this ship that this commander is on that Vader wants dead. So two of them get killed, and what happens is Beilert Valance ends up kind of smashing through the view screen, the viewport, whatever you want to call it, in the bridge, and exits his vehicle to kill the guy and gets back out in space, and that's basically his part of the mission. So the good thing is, or the interesting thing here is that he has history with this commander. This commander is the reason why he was inspired to join the Imperials in the first place. So there's a little bit of emotional weight with this kind of interaction here, but it's pretty badass that, you know, Valance literally jumps out of the viewport and gets extracted by one of the TIE Fighter pilots that survived. So, yes, there's only two TIE Defenders left at this point, so I don't know if that's it for them, but we do get a nice little epilogue cutaway with Darth Vader speaking with that one officer that's in charge of Beilert Valance. Apparently, this guy was never part of the Crimson Dawn, but Vader just didn't like him very much because this guy is apparently disillusioned by the Empire, and Vader, well, that's a good enough reason to kill somebody in Vader's eyes, and that's also a nice proving ground for Beilert Valance to be like, hey, is this guy, you know, is Beilert Valance actually suitable for the job that comes next, which is going to require Ochi Bestoon. So we don't know what's going to happen next, but very interesting thing there. Then next we pick up on Ord Mantell. We have some Falines that are giving the locals some trouble. And then we have the Unbroken clan that are also, you know, coming in there and helping save the people. So we're already seeing the after effects of what has happened in Crimson Reign #1, whereas like all these different warring factions are going, you know, head to head against each other, all these different criminal syndicates that were pitted from Kira doing all this in the background, right? So basically, Yosha and all these other people are hiding out at this little like kind of like secret place, and they feel like, oh, there's too much heat here, we have to move. And then they come out the plan. Zuckuss knows of his friend Fur-Olem that could possibly have the location of Candalia, who would, you know, unite the Unbroken clan and Mourner's Rail, and maybe actually, you know, cause some uplift in the whole criminal syndicate thing that's going on right now. So they have to go for Fur-Olem, but the problem is Fur-Olem, through the War of the Bounty Hunters events, has become kind of this robotic monstrosity, so they're gonna have to deal with that. That's really the issue in a nutshell. Just a really solid issue here that really wraps up with things with more of the Bounty Hunters and tells a little bit more of a story of Crimson Reign. So there you go. That was Bounty Hunters issue number 19. Getting into our IDW issue for this week, and it is Star Wars Adventures issue number 13. This is quickly coming to a close. I think we have one more issue from the Adventures line with issue number 14, but for this issue we have two different stories. We have Repair Stop and we have A Last Chapter. So Repair Stop is a story told, it looks like, between The Force Awakens, or no, between The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. They're carting around the smuggler guy that is giving, you know, the Resistance some money and all this kind of thing, so they have to cart this guy around. They need to have repairs on the Millennium Falcon. They park it, park it on this planet. Next thing you know, there's a bounty hunter that comes after them. And this guy's name is Keith Varus. He is a Devarian. He almost looks like Hellboy, if you ask me. And he's just going after this person, this Mobin, who is kind of a jerk, if you ask me, this different kind of Togruta. By the end of this issue, it seems like there's going to be a part 2. Obviously, there's a standoff where this bounty hunter has Mobin, and it's up to Ray to kind of diffuse the situation. That leaves off on a cliffhanger. The only cool thing about this issue I found out was this cool Imperial shuttle that this bounty hunter uses, keep Varus. Other than that, it's kind of a throwaway story. It was just, kind of like, hey, let's run around a little bit in the city, try to get this guy to, get away from us kind of thing. The other story we have in here is called A Last Chapter. I like this one a lot more, and it's really kind of like this introspective piece on this one girl that's kind of in charge of the Jedi temple, looks like. She's not a Jedi, but she's looking at, this ancient Jedi temple is in ruins. So she's just kind of looking after with some other people that are looking after the artifacts. Vader shows up. He's going to get what he wants. And she gets some of the stuff and tries to run away. Vader ends up, not killing her, but taking some kind of data from her. And that's kind of where the issue ends. It's very dark, but it's also kind of realistic, where like, hey, this girl's not going to do much against Vader. If Vader wants something, he's going to take it from her. But I like the kind of dialogue, or not the dialogue, but the narration from this girl's point of view of like how demanding and overwhelming Darth Vader is. So there you go. Those were the 2 comics that came out this week. What'd you guys think of these ones? Let me know in the comment section down below. For more on Star Wars, Book of Boba Fett is out now, the first episode. You can check out me and my buddy's thoughts on our episode review for Outer Rim Transmission. You can check that out long form podcast form, either on YouTube or on this on the podcast form, right? I also have a Game of the Year video that is going up pretty soon here, and I also have what I've been playing the most in 2021. So I have a lot of gaming content coming out for this last week of 2021. I hope everybody has a happy and healthy new year. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because that's the easiest way to stay up to date on all my content. Do hit that like button, because that'll help the algorithm apparently, and that notification bell icon as well. So that's gonna do it for me, Starrapter. Thank you so much for watching, and may the force be with you always.
Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also included 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.